Hi, we're Quaints and Curious Volumes. My name is James. Today is a Tuesday, or as some people call it, a Friday Reads Tuesday. So I'm going to do a Friday Reads wrap up on a Tuesday. Maybe I'll do a tag on Friday. Who knows? It's Freaky Friday around here. Just wanted to come on and say I finished reading uh, one part of Eudora Welty's collected stories. I read A Curtain of Green, her debut collection, um, and plan to get through probably the rest of the stories in this volume, if not everything. There's some good essays in here and a memoir. We'll see how it goes. Um, and I also have been continuing my read through of the Arabian Nights, the Tales of 1,000 Nights and a Night. Uh, been doing this with a group that started out as organized by Sean D. Standfast and Market Book Time with Elvis. At this point, it's basically me and Gavin from Genre Books, though we have other people in our Voxer group, and I occasionally try to get them to join us on our live stream. We did a live stream on Sunday. It was a lot of fun. We had some good questions from the audience. So if you are interested, and you happen to have this volume around, and you want to join us, we're doing about 150 pages of the Penguin translation per month. So for this month, we will be reading page 750 to 900 of volume one. Anyway, post something in the comments or contact me at the information in the description, and I'll get you added. Let's see. I've also started reading. This is kind of my main book these days. Is The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. This, of course, as you probably know, is a classic tale of adventure and revenge. I'm about 200 pages into it, and it's every bit as fun as people tell you. I don't know how much to say about it, lest I spoil things. There are, it's how to say? Well, it's set during a definite in a historical context. So at the beginning of it, uh, Emperor Napoleon Bonaparte is exiled to Elba. So if you know your European history, you know this is a brief period when he is in Elba, and then he returns to France, overthrows the king again, and rules for 100 days before he is finally defeated at the Battle of Waterloo. So when this starts, all that has yet to happen. At the point I am now, it's like 16 years later. A lot of things have happened to one particular person, and he's none too pleased about it. So anyway, yeah, the Count of Monte Cristo. A lot of people have been reading it lately, and I want to be one of the cool people. Nah, I don't care. But anyway, I've had this on my list for a long time. It's a lot of fun. Let's see. I'm also reading a little bit of Czeslaw Milosz's The Captive Mind. I've shown this on this channel before, and I've actually started reading it. It's a little peculiar. It starts with he talks about how how he grew up in Poland and suffered through domination by by Nazi Germany, and then they were liberated. But for them, the liberation was basically immediate subjugation again under the Soviets, and then he kind of launched his career as a writer in Poland, but Poland was dominated by the Soviet Union under the Warsaw Pact, as they say, and Milosz eventually sort of had to leave Poland and spent the latter part of his life in the United States because he was a dissident. My understanding is that this book was written after he had been sort of expelled from the Society of International Communists by had something to do with Pablo Neruda, denounced him as not a good leftist or not a good communist or something like that. Anyway, and so this is sort of his reaction to it, the captive mind. And let's see, what else do I have? I got this book from New York Review of Books Classics. It's actually a New York Review of Books Poets series, and it's late poems by Eugenio Montale. This was an Italian poet who had a fairly long career, won the Nobel Prize for chemistry, no, for literature, and this is a dual language book with the Italian on one page and the English translation on the other. I've only read a couple of poems in here, and so far I like it quite a bit. I like it just fine, thank you very much. While I was in the live stream with Gavin discussing the Arabian Nights on Sunday, the topic of gin was discussed, not the alcoholic beverage, but jinn, the mythological creatures, or sometimes called genies. In the Arabian Nights, they're called jinn or ifrits, and there are a few other terms for them, and there are sort of bureaucracies of jinn, and some of them are rulers of other jinns. And anyway, we were speculating about the role of the jinn in Islamic culture, sort of wider Islamic culture, and neither of us knew if there were jinn in the Qur'an. One of our commenters probably looked it up and helpfully informed us that yes, there are jinn in the Qur'an. I got out my copy of the Qur'an. I have never read this, but I do have this copy of it, and I was just sort of looking through it. The very last surah, the sections of the Quran are called surah, mentions jinn. It says, this is the last and shortest of the surahs, number 114, people. Another Meccan surah commonly used as an invocation against evil. In the name of God, the Lord of mercy, the giver of mercy, say, I seek refuge with the Lord of people, the controller of people, the God of people, against the harm of the slinking whisperer, who whispers into the hearts of people, whether they be jinn or people. So, interesting. So jinns can also be influenced by, presumably this is Satan, the slinking whisperer. So that got Gavin speculating that maybe he ought to read the Quran, and I said, maybe I ought to. Maybe it's time I read the Quran. So I've had this on my shelf for a long time, never done more than sort of dip into it. So I'm thinking I may slowly work my way through this. Kieran at KD Books read the Quran a couple of years ago and ended up converting to Islam. I never say never. It's probably not going to happen with me, but stay tuned. So that's what's going on with me. I've been tagged for a few things. I don't know. I wasn't feeling the apocalypse tag for some reason. I'm not into apocalyptic speculation anymore. I read Nuclear War, a Scenario by Annie Jacobsen last year. I'm pretty sure I reviewed it, or at least I've talked about it on this channel. And it kind of it's not a lot of fun to speculate about the apocalypse for me anymore. I don't imagine that I'm going to be thinking about getting any books in the event of the apocalypse. Of course, it depends on what kind of apocalypse we're talking about. But if it's really an apocalypse, I don't think I'm going to be thinking about bringing any books along. I think I'm going to I don't know. It kind of depresses me a little bit too much to think about that to have any fun with a tag. Your mileage may vary. Maybe I need to watch some of those, some other people's tag videos, and it will lighten my opinion of it. But we'll see. Anyway, that's what I have going on. I hope you're reading something good. Why don't you let me know what you're reading? Post it in the comments if you want, or just send me a message. I don't mind. Um, yeah, that's what I got going. Louise is pretty good. She's taken to sleeping directly behind my office chair, which is kind of upsetting to me and to her because I will not realize that she's there, and I'll like back up a little bit to get up and inadvertently um, roll my chair into her. Poor little sweetie. But anyway, she's snoozing right now, so I won't disturb her. But Louise is doing pretty well. She's doing well for a 13-year-old dog. Anyway, thank you for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.